Welcome, welcome to the 2024 NCRSP Leadership Series session, Proclaim Your Success, multimedia, newsletters, press releases, hits list. I know that people like you and I and Miss Tara wake up in the morning thinking, what good works can I do today? And here we have some ideas to help our RSPs grow and grow and grow. Here are 10 steps in the hits list that is HITS. First letter H is for human resources, and that is growing positive relationships in the community involving the highest profile personalities as keynote speakers, inspiration, devotional speakers, and establishing positive reputations through your communications with community. By doing these three things, it helps prepare the ground and enables you to maybe get your story into print. The I is for imagery, developing iconographies, logos, mottos, branding for easy RSP recognition, and harvesting a vast treasury of photographs. By amassing a lot of photographs, maybe out of 2 or 3 dozen, you might get one perfect photo. So you've got to develop that photo bank. And that will help you put together icons for your logo and mottos. By having a brand, it helps the public recognize, oh, this is your RSP. The T is for theme writing. That is using or making templates or patterns for press releases. You'll find that if you have a certain pattern, or if you use the previous pattern that you've established for a successful press release, it will save and economize your time. Also, using print and broadcast media, you've got to put it out there, and we'll get into details about that. Using your website and social media for this, launching your writing, and using summations for your newsletters. You don't want to put the whole story in case the people have already read the story in the newspapers, but you want to capsulize and make sure that you put it in your newsletters for dissemination for broader audiences beyond the media. S is for share, and that is sending forth your information in emails to the press, hard copy snail mail, in greeting cards, Facebook, for your websites, postcards, business cards, at all the public events you attend while you're wearing your local RSP's name tag. Now, these information and ideas I've put in a synopsis on nuts and bolts of building membership, and I have that also available to you as one of the resources, but you'll see the links that give you more detailed information about that. The human resources part, I've got to tell you that when Miss Kathy Nagel came to my house and asked my husband if I could become the president, I was really scared because I knew that the responsibility was going to be monumental. So I put together the biggest list of people, starting with the highest profile legislator I knew, and inviting the press to be the speakers. I knew that given the political climate, that letting a legislator to speak would be difficult. So I encapsulated his role as the inspiration devotional speaker. I asked the owner and publisher and chief editor and his wife, both of them are partners, by the way, to come and be the speakers to talk about the press and education. And it was a very strong presence. We got a lot of people to come. But by doing that, I started capitalizing or trying to establish a positive relationship with press and a positive relationship with the community through the press. And even though this article I know is difficult to read, I have all of the releases that my RSP has put out, and you could read that individually at your leisure. You just click the upper right-hand corner of any item and you'll see the articles to be read in large print. And you could do this at your own time and at your own pace. So you'll have an idea that what can be done in the press. Your local meetings, stories, doing the legislative luncheon for your region, articles about your RSP at the convention, special events at your RSP, and especially when you have legislators come speak to your meetings. Now, this was a very nice event. Our sheriff was our keynote speaker talking about public safety in the schools. And we had this wonderful, wonderful reverend come and give the devotional. And this was a special time too, because this was our launching of brag boards and candy baskets to all the school facilities. Now, developing a bank of photographs, very important, so that you could select your best imagery to create iconographies and photographs for your newspapers. And your resources are simple. Your phone camera, PowerPoint, which is the most agile of all applications, Paint, which comes as part of your Microsoft Office package, which a few years ago started also offering the 3D, using Google Photos to photo bank your photographs, and free QR code apps. And again, you need dozens and dozens of photographs to find the best shots. The T on theme writing, using or making templates or patterns for press releases, for your stories. Here is a sample press release template using one of our stories that was published, starting out with a headline title of interest. If the headline that you offer isn't the best, the newspaper, when it decides to print your story, will do the best, will strengthen your headline. You want also a high-profile speaker, the where and the when, as part of your headline. And then your story can start developing what happened with those headline speakers. The key element for me is to make sure I put in a legislative call to action. The whole point of my RSP story is not only to attract attention to the RSP in order to interest retirees to join, but also the meat, which is what we're trying to accomplish in legislation. The needs case, as we know from writing persuasive pieces, is the reason behind the call to action. It might be a subtle indictment of the status quo. Yes. And then to include the community service, the good that our RSP is doing, also attracting the attention of scholarship opportunities. And then in that story, you want to include what's coming up, the upcoming meeting, the next event that the public could attend with a high-profile speaker, where and when, how readers can learn more about your RSP, where you put in your URL for your website, and then the how to join contact information. This is really neat, because if people have a telephone number or an email address, they could contact your membership chair or you personally. Now, in sharing and sending forth your information, when starting first of all with your newspaper, what newspaper the newspaper contacts are and so forth. If you don't subscribe to your newspaper, you can still find out the contact information if you Google the term local newspaper editors near me. That will give you the information and contact points where you can access the places where you can send your newspaper story. And don't be discouraged if they don't accept your story the first time. Trying and trying again, your submissions will, sometimes a rejection notice might get information about how to make your stories better and better. I started early in the 90s when I developed a speech and debate team from my school, sending in stories, and any rejection oftentimes came with an ideas list of how to make the story acceptable and better and stronger. So don't be hesitant, don't get discouraged. The websites and social medias are excellent places for you to send out your RSP story. I have in the website, in this PowerPoint, the hot link so that you could go directly to our CCRSP website. You can see also what we have first thing, when our next meeting is going to be. What we've done so far is on the skin with how to join and what's in it for, why it's a good idea to join and so forth. The postcards. Developing and designing postcard reminders for your members, also with links when you use the postcard as an attractive item to send to an email. These are also handy to use at dinners and functions and events that you attend for political parties or other functions. And I know you might feel hesitant to do so because you feel, well, it's not my event and this is somebody else's event. But if you wear your RSP name tag and you make eye contact with the host and you just go ahead and do it, putting it out on chairs and tables, it gives people something to talk about while they're waiting for the main event to start. And having, of course, the iconography. One thing that our RSP did is putting together your speakers list and your inspirations list of speakers early, getting it out early so you have something to publicize and something to display, so that people who might not otherwise attend an RSP meeting will say, hey, I want to go to this thing because look at who's the kind of speakers they've got coming to speak. And that may be of interest. Using PowerPoint as your palette for putting this together helps too, because if you want to make this presentation on a darker board, then you can easily change the background to accommodate whatever your medium is going to be. The reverse sides of your postcards. That's wasted space unless you've got a message. You can use the reverse side of anything you pass out, flyers and postcards, including messages to share at other groups' functions. and people will be grateful for additional information. And make sure that you use your RSP roster and mail merge to address each member's card when you're sending a reminder postcard. Now, building your own website. This is something really exciting and magnificent. You can save yourself hundreds of dollars by just making your own website, and that's for $12 a year is the cost for Squarespace, which is what Google has started using, sending its subscribers to. But something that they're hiding now, so I put this out so that you could access it easier, is this wonderful URL where you can just start making your own blank website. Start from scratch and you'll love it. The more you do it, the easier it'll get. It'll get easier and easier and easier. And if something crashes and burns, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to start all over again, because each time that you start over again, you'll become stronger, more confident, and you'll learn more from every single mistake you make. In '97, when I was doing my national boards, the IT technician had come into school and she had put on a new software which wiped out my portfolio for my national boards. It was heartbreaking. I had to start all over again, but I learned from that experience. Something catastrophic you could live through. Don't be afraid to start all over again. So making a website, having it crash and burn is not anything that's going to kill you. It will make you stronger. And after the first few months, you go back at what you did and you think, oh, I could do it again and make it better and better and better. We learn from our mistakes. Building your own Facebook account, easy. Making your own Facebook account is the magic term that you put in your browser search, and then you can do it. Now, I know from experience as an educator, I was very paranoid about Facebook because of the propinquity and the possibility of invasion of privacy. But nowadays, people will look at a Facebook presence to see if an organization of a group has any gravitas or is serious, or if the organization is obsolete or really matters. So for that reason, having a Facebook is really positive and can work very well for your group. This was also one of the 7 touches that we learned in our series on membership building. Proclaiming your success in your newsletters. This is an icon that I made first by harvesting an image and paying royalties, nominal royalties. And this one, I think it was $19.99. And then I have the ability to apply it to our newsletter, adopting a motto for it. And I know that this is small and difficult to read, so I have the details for the ABCs of a newsletter in a separate document that you could read at your own leisure that I've put as a link to it. And the image link to allows you to take a look at our last newsletter that we put in, and we see that some of the earmarks that we want to have, a link to all past newsletters in case this is the first one that a new member is looking at, a link to all the state NCRSP newsletters so that the people could get more information, a president's message with your contact information in it, who all your NCRSP, all your RSP officers are, the officers who serve us, regional too, your motto, calendar events, important legislative information, how to contact your legislators, and any pictures, especially if you had those legislators come and speak to your meeting. Your NCAE, very important element. Of course, links, and I drop in every little tiny cartoons. A regional item, information about your next meeting. Again, your editor's contact, and then summarizing newspaper articles that got published, but you don't want to put in the whole thing, so a short summary. And then, of course, upcoming news, wonderful things, references to anything else that's new. And you want to allow people to know whom to, the coverage area for your RSP. I've laid this out as a newspaper template in your PowerPoint so that you could use this and examine it later at your leisure. Brochures and public displays. When you go to make presentations, if you've got a plastic holder where you're also showing your miniature blackboard, articles, and also your important brochures. If you want to make your own brochure, I have one that's pretty exciting for you to take a look at. Now I looked for a photograph that would send the best message, and that was, for me, it's time you looked after yourself. Join CCRSP, Carteret Retired School Personnel. When I discovered finally the photograph that I wanted, I right-clicked on it and used the search the web for this image. By searching the web for that image, you could find the artist, the source photographer, and then you can contact that photographer and ask for permission or pay royalty fees so that you could use that image. We were very blessed because this particular artist who provided this great photograph was someone who said I could use the image as long as I gave him credit, and asked our members to please like his page on Facebook. You could see the artist's Facebook link there, and you could like it if you wish. Close up, you'll see the elements that we used in our RSP's brochure, front and back. I call my phone tree lady my cover girl, my centerfold girl. And here is the template that lays it out. Your RSP's logo, a reference to our parent state organization, subtitle, awards that our RSP has won, our QR code, and our website URL. Overall benefits, remember this is a trifold. Meeting schedule with your headliners in it. The high profile photo of loyal members and your headliners with your RSP's motto. Officer contacts, motto, a collage of the speakers of the biennium, mission, and a link to how to join. Inside the brochure, community service projects, scholarship, chair, benefits, membership contact information, and the wonderful hook, this only costs $12 a month. High-profile photo with your loyal members, scholarship winners, and at this meeting, it was the county commissioner and one of our mayors, a Beaufort mayor. And this is, I'm so proud of our phone tree lady. Ann Hill corrected our guest legislator during his legislative luncheon speech. She interrupted him to say that she taught school in the 50s. And I just love her. She inspires me so much. She's one of the reasons why RSP is so vital and necessary. Way back when I started being a president, I desperately called our state president because I didn't know where to begin with updating our brochure. And she helped me, a complete stranger, look at the brochure components of her own RSP's template. Her name is Linda Gunter, and she very kindly shared with me this that I used as my original template. I'm sharing that with you too. Now, Linda shortcutted so many things. You don't have to make your own RSP's brochure. You can use the RSP one that Linda had made with Sid Baker and Nell Burwell. And this is featured on our own website so that you could use that and direct your potential recruits, your prospective members to it. And you can use this is also on downloadable forms for you to download and print yourself. But I also made a low ink consumption version of this brochure that'll cost less money for your RSP to print. You see the areas that are in the original solid are skeletonized, but still have the same flashy presence of the original. Now, designing your own iconography to honor all your loyal members. You could take an original group photo, and again, you're selecting from dozens of group photos. You're looking for one where people are smiling and their eyes are open. Right? Now, you've taken individual photos of people who arrived early or had to leave early, people who arrived early but had to leave early, and people who were latecomers to your meeting. You take those individual photos and then create a 3D image of those people. And then you assemble them together in that original group photo. And now you've got a group photo where you've got all the people who attended that meeting. They may not have been all there all at once at the same time, but now you've got a group photo that you could use for sharing. Individual photographs of your members can be used to create a collage. And again, to save money on royalties, you take your own photographs. This is my husband Mike's hand and my hand made it to 3D that we used for this to show off our members. And you could use this collage of your members in greeting cards. What really moved me, it was getting a card from my organization, a Get Well card when I was sick, which everybody signed, but not everybody might attend that meeting to sign a group card. But if you have a group card that you could send to your members who are sick, a get well card or birthday card, and use that as a template, then it can make everybody feel really nice. Using screenshots of your members, you can also make live presentations, putting together a GIF file. The way that you make this is that you have a series of photographs. Then you choose all of them and save them as a GIF, and presto, you've got a living, breathing animation, which is something that I've done with the mottos for our RSP. Each one reach one. Members are a beating heart. Together we are strong. Retirees deserve better. Your iconography can also be served to make a cake. When we did a presentation at a pre-retirement seminar for my school district, someone said, Julia, order a cake. So I said, okay, let me put together a decoration for it. And with PowerPoint, this is the decoration that I came up with. And Harris Teeter, also Walmart, does a wonderful, they'll take a photograph and create the cake decoration. And it's delicious, edible, and sends a message. You can use this iconography now for birthday cards for your members, and also cards that might scare your policymakers into thinking, wow, this group is organized. We got to remember them when it comes time to voting. They exist. Yes, we exist. You want to design something special for your individual members too on their birthdays. You can put together with PowerPoint a special message using their pictures and the iconography from your RSP and NCRSP. You could send that to all your members to remind everybody to say happy birthday to that person. You could post it on your Facebook and their Facebook. And also, you can memorialize your members who have passed away on your own website using your design work. You can make business cards for your officers and chairs with the meeting dates and contact information. This is really exciting and wonderful to do because now you've got a little tiny handy dandy a business card with all your meetings of the year on the reverse side. You can make name tags and membership cards for your members. And the name tags, you could put your mission and goals on the backs of the name tags, especially for guests. If you've got a lawmaker coming in, you want to send a message, and this is what we use on the reverse side of our guests, of all of our name tags. And that is our RSP goals. Again, with more contact information. We also make handbooks for our members with pictorial directories, so that people will know who's who. Some of you have spectacular membership rosters, but people don't know who each other are, who people are. So I put together, now you might not have a picture for everybody, you do the best you can with what you've got and put something together. And also in my handbook that I make, I put in the contact information for legislators. So when Jackie Wooten, our legislative chair, tells us to contact people, boom, we've got the contact information. And again, QR codes. The greeting cards, you could do this and do so, make it for anybody, for your purposes, especially when you're doing snail mail to legislators. Now, This is something that probably many of you already know, but I discovered a couple of years ago. You can make a mail merge from a template to a template, sorry. On your Word interface, you choose mailings, and from mailings, there's a whole bonanza of commands that you could use. You use select recipient, and you use bang, that great monthly membership roster that NCRSP sends us. Thank you very much to Carol and Tara for sending that to us. You've got your members' names, last name, first name, address information, and you could populate your own cards and envelopes. You can edit the recipient list so that if you say you want to change this so it's not all capital letters, you could use the great new interface that's available on all of your Office suite. Highlight and then insert the merge fields the way you want to, and then complete the document with finish and merge so that you could edit individual items to make sure that it's the way you want it. When you brand your correspondence, again, you're using your iconography so your RSP becomes recognizable. And when you're asking your members to donate to the foundation or asking your members to donate to our GPS fund or asking your members to recruit people, provide a stamp on it if you can, if you could afford it. My husband, Michael, has been very generous with me and lets me buy the stamps, but it helps encourage people to do the donation. Wow, it's really easy to join RSP. All I have to do is complete the application, stick it in this pre-printed envelope, and Bob's your uncle. It's easy peasy. With your iconography and using Facebook, you can also design your officer and chairs panel so that people could see your contact information. People might not know who you are, but they might know who the members of your cabinet are and your chair people are. And that way they could realize, oh, I know so-and-so from church. I could just contact her and talk to her after service and talk about what the RSP has to offer. This also is useful in your letterheads when you're mailing people who've contacted you because they saw the RSP information in the newspaper and they call you up. You want to have something official. You want to answer their telephone call, contact them by email, but also give them something to hold in their hands with snail mail. And so a letterhead with other contact information on it can be very useful. Using your branding for your local RSP when you're doing an outreach to your members to donate to the GPS fund. If it's depersonalized thinking, oh, this is a state organization that I'm donating to, how's it going to benefit me? Sometimes you send an unspoken message about its immediate efficacy if they could see that, oh, it's my local RSP branding on it. This is something that my local RSP is doing. Yes, we want to donate, especially when they see a sample check, perhaps. Oh, that's Julia's check. And that's how we do it. That's where the pay is, and we put in our region and the name of our RSP. That's how I do it. It's easy, just imitate it. Using your brag board to promote your RSP is excellent. Unfortunately, I came up with this idea that we could have these big brad boards, and we could have about 5 or 6 of them at high traffic areas, like at the State Employees Credit Union, at the central services, and at other libraries. And so these huge brad boards also have pockets with a brochure on it, with brochures. And we have mini brad boards that we send out to all of our school facilities. In a separate document, I've kind of encapsulated or tried to summarize a step by step how to do this. Our beloved communications chair, June Merrill, asked me to do a presentation for our region at our regional meeting once a few years ago. So I put together something, and I've updated this according to the how everything changes and becomes better and better and easier. I've updated that with the handy dandy steps. You could use your skills that you're developing to promote your members' accomplishments too, with certificates, web posts, Facebook posts, emails, and newsletters. You make certificates that brag about your members and what your members have accomplished and what they do. And you make certificates. Like, for example, on our upcoming June meeting, I'm so excited. We've got new officers, new president, but I want to honor and thank the outgoing cabinet and the outgoing chairs. And I'm putting, of course, certificates together for them too. And then once you've done your wonderful work, then you're going to compile your best imagery and marketing for your recognition submissions. You're amassing all your work, collecting all your work, so that when it comes time for your recognitions, you can show and share your ideas. Now on these, I've you've got individual links so that you could read these things at your leisure. These are things that I made for our RSP. Again, you could use this and look at this at your leisure. And I want you to know, it's so sweet to make something you never thought possible, and what everybody said was impossible to do. It's exciting to use and develop skills. I am a late bloomer. I did everything late in life. I got saved late in life. I married the love of my life at age 64. I learned new digital skills after age 70. And I'm so grateful to you for electing me at age 72 to hold an NCRSP office. And you're letting this old person try to help and do things. So please take heart. And remember, what one person can do, another person can do, and do well, and do even better. And next year, one of you will be conducting this session on multimedia. So please let your passion fuel your proclamations of achievement, your creativity shape your RSP's image to the world, and your dedication to improve and learn propel your success. Push away fear of failure and embrace trial and error. And if something blows up, start over again, better, stronger, and with great joy. Together we're strong, and you will succeed, and your success uplifts us all. Thanks for tuning in. Have fun proclaiming your RSP's success. And as one added bonus, I have this last page of additional resources, including the resources that we've talked about in this session, all in one handy dandy spot. So have fun and succeed, and remember to show off all your success in your recognition submissions at the end of the year in preparation for next year's state convention. Love you. Thank you again. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.